This week's edition of Sunday Sit Down brought to you by Cutshaw Chevrolet in Grapeland.
Was born and raised here in Houston County. I started my career with Texas Department of Criminal Justice in 1983. I was assigned to the Ramsey unit at Rocher, and 6 or 8 months later I came back to the East Ham unit and worked there. Went to Estill High Security when they opened up that and helped open that facility. I then went back to East Ham and stayed there until I retired in March of 2006. 10 days after I retired from there, I was at the sheriff's office working. I worked in dispatch for about a year, and then I went to the jail. In 2010, we came to this facility that we're in now. In 2011, I was promoted to sergeant. In 2015, I was promoted to lieutenant. And then in 2021, when Sheriff Hargrove took office, I was promoted to jail administrator. And here we are.
Jail administrator is kind of like running a hotel where none of the guests want to be there. So give us a sense of what the toughest part of this job can be or is.
Well, the toughest part of this job to me is we have to have an on-call policy for jail staff. Okay? We have to have so many officers per inmates per the jail commission. We, right now our shifts were bare minimum. So when somebody is sick or cannot make it to work, then somebody has to fill that spot. Each jailer is assigned 3 to 4 on-call days during a 4-week period. Okay, if somebody can't make it in, then somebody has to work that on-call day. They're expected to be here. What makes it so tough for me is that it takes away from their family, their friends, and their children. They've already put in long hours, and now they're having to work an extra day. That's really, it's kind of disheartening to me that we have to do that.
Well, as you said, you retired from your previous career many years ago. You probably don't have to be doing this. So I guess the question is, why do you still do it? What is it that you love about the job?
Well, I like trying to make a difference in people, and also try to set some goals that we try to obtain. And one of the largest goals is to pass the annual jail inspection by the jail commission. And these guys, I say guys, men and women, they work really hard, and they work long, hard days to accomplish that goal. Also, I like trying to make a difference with some of the people that come in. We have people that come in and they don't understand the process. It may be their first time, or we have people that come in that are upset. And so sometimes I just talk to them like a mother, and I tell them, this is a process. We have to get through this process, and then once you've completed this process, you can have a good life if that's the choice that you make. Just an example, this very week we had a mother call and tell us how much she appreciated that we took care of our son and what we did for him while he was here. And during our conversation, she kept saying that several times, and so it makes you feel good that you feel like you've accomplished something.
Well, jails have changed a lot since the movies I watched as a kid. There's no bars and no key rings and all the rest. Tell us a few things maybe people don't know about the Justice Center.
I think the old verbiage was that lock them up and throw away the key. But we know that doesn't happen, okay? I'm not sure that the general public understands exactly what goes on inside the walls, inside this jail. We have church services for both males and females several times a week. We have medical staff that works 7 days a week. We are sufficient in having our own kitchen and our own laundry. We have visitation for the inmates every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. We have clergy visits. Some are in-person clergy visits. We have attorney visits. Some are in person and some are Zoom. We have Zoom court. We have court at the courthouse. And in all that going on, we're booking people, we're releasing people, and trying to take care of 100 plus inmates a day.
100 a day.
More than 100.
More than 100 a day.
100 plus.
Not an easy job. I know you've done it for a while, and probably some of your staff. But what do you personally, and what does your team do to let this place go and go home and be yourselves?
Well, I really can't speak for my team as what they do when they go home. All I can say is when I go home, I try to forget about the jail. But I get after hour calls, which that's no biggie. It's just part of the job. But I look at it as every day is a new day. Okay, so it's going to be different. And so even as hectic as it gets or stressful as it gets, at the end of the day, at our end of the shift, it's all going to work out.
Well, speaking of your team, I know you're very proud of them, and I've had the opportunity to meet a few of them in the last few months. Talk to me about that team and how they work together and with you to make this all work.
Okay, our team consists of course, men and women of all ages. They work together really well as a team. They work hard, long hours. And a couple of things I'm going to bring up is when we were hit with COVID, that was really set the jail back as far as activities and stuff like that. But the team members that worked at night, they would come in early so the other team members could go home before it got dark and on the bad roads. You had some team members that would pick up other team members so they wouldn't have to drive on the bad roads. Okay, and we got through that. Then we've had a staff shortage. It's been like nothing I've ever seen since I've been here. But it's not just this jail, it's surrounding counties and all over the state of Texas. And so, of course, staff shortage, that means that somebody has to work when we're short. And there goes the long 12-hour days again, and sometimes even 18 hours. So they've been really well. Some of them have been here 8 years or more, and some have been here 5 years and less, but they still work together as a team. And one thing that I would like to mention is they've done a really great job. I appreciate them very much. I think sometimes that jail staff doesn't get the recognition that they should get. And I just want them to know that I appreciate the great job that they've done and are doing. And not only for me, but for the department and for the county itself.